Okay, good. We're live. Hello, it's Thursday. My name is Tanya Uester. I'm coming from my page Botanicamy, an alchemy of soothing botanic ingredients. And today we are doing a very special request for an essential oil and how to use it by one of my top fans. So, welcome to all of you that are busy joining in. I can see the numbers are creeping up, which is really awesome. If you would like me to give you a shout out, obviously you know what to do by now. Go and pop anything into the comments so I can see your name pop up, and then I can say hi. Essentially Daily Drops have joined. Welcome, Choki. I'm so glad you could join. Just by the way, the courier just arrived for someone else, so we probably could have booked your parcel in time. But anyway, no stress. We can deal with that tomorrow. Quite interesting. The timing is I don't know, is it good or is it coincidentally just in time today? I'm not sure. Hello Maria, I can see you've just logged in as well as Jerry. Welcome, awesome. I'm so glad when people come and learn a little bit more about essential oils. This is my passion. I love educating about oils. It's something I discovered obviously through quite a lot of research that I've been doing in the last couple of years, and really realizing and waking up to understanding how pharmaceuticals were affecting my body, and the general feeling of malaise or not feeling the best that I could every single day became normal to me. And I think I discovered that it's not the way it's supposed to be. By the way, I think a lot of us forget very routinely how good our bodies were actually designed to feel on a daily basis. Hello Gwen, I can see you've also logged in. Welcome. I think there's a bit of a time delay today, might be internet related, I'm not sure. So I'm just going to give a little extra time to see if anyone else is going to log in today. Again, remember, if you want to shout out, you've got to say something in the comments so I can see that you're there. So yes, back to the story. Discovering that there are amazing natural alternatives out there, and that they really can have a really amazing effect on your body. Our bodies are so equipped to process plants. Yes, I am a meat eater. I am actually not a vegan. I need the protein. My blood type says that I need to eat the protein. And before I start a war on Facebook and on Insta, each to their own. Our bodies are all biochemically different. I think if you're attuned enough to start listening to your body is going to tell you what it is that you need to eat, and what is not good for it. Just like I started to listen and feel that the pharmaceuticals were actually causing me quite a lot of damage, trying to mask the symptoms that I was experiencing. Can also see Bev has just logged in. Hi Bev. Leon, welcome. Yes, there we go. I can see more people logging in. Brilliant. Cool, so maybe it's time to get started. Today I've got a very nice cup of green rooibos, they call it, but you'll see in a green cup because I love green and plants. But inside it's slightly yellow. So this is a really favorite tea of mine, because I think they add a little bit of turmeric to it. So there's some anti-inflammatory that's going with the green rooibos. And it's there to keep me a little bit warmer today because it is officially, I think, autumn outside. It's a lot cooler in the weather this morning, so I'm really excited. That means the leaves are starting to going to start coloring in the exact shade, which is my favorite shade. So yeah, I'm an absolute autumn fan. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right, which is my favorite time of year. So let's talk about a really beautiful green oil today, because as I said, this was a request from one of my fans. And I actually thought when she asked me to talk about Cypress, I was convinced I'd already done a live about Cypress. So I actually had to go back on my own YouTube channel. So that's a reminder to all of you. If you can't remember if I've done an oil, you can do exactly the same thing. Go and check out the singles series playlist on my YouTube channel, and go and see what all the talks are that I have already done about the single oils. But I had to go and backtrack and check, have I talked about Cypress? Have I not? And I was quite surprised. I might have talked about Cypress in one of my body system support series episodes, but not on its own as a single oil. So that's why we're doing Cypress today. So I'm really excited because, Cypress it's not a very pungent aroma. Hello Jen, I can see you've also just logged in, so welcome. It's not a very pungent aroma. It's pretty much like some of our other blends that are really grounding. I find Cypress is an oil that I reach for almost every single day. So it's incredibly supportive to specifically my body, and by going through all the top uses today, maybe it's one of those oils that you are going to be wanting to use every day too. So let's get started. It's got a lot of chemical constituents in it. There are two that are the main constituents, which are giving it most of its top use properties. But amongst that, there is a very large array of chemical constituents, which is also why it is so usable and so user-friendly to support several systems in the body. You'll see when I posted advertising that I was going to talk about Cypress today, I mentioned only the integumentary, which is the skin, and the circulatory system, but obviously there's other systems as well. For example, the respiratory system that does really well with Cypress. This is an oil that I would not be using internally. I know there are some applications where medically trained aromatherapists, so the French method, would probably use Cypress internally, but it's not an oil that I would use internally regularly. It's definitely more an oil for topical use, which means applying it to the skin, diluted with carrier, because this is actually one of those oils that can cause sensitivity if not diluted. I'll talk about that in a second. But definitely a really good oil for aromatic use and for topical use. All right, so the chemical constituents, obviously there's about, I'd say 55-ish on average in a bottle of Cypress, where the two that are most prominent is alpha-pinene. If any of you can remember what other oil is also very high in alpha-pinene, let's check if you can remember from my previous education sessions. There are a couple of them actually. I'll name the top one, but go and put in the comments for me if you can remember what other oils are very high in alpha-pinenes. I want to check what's going on in the comments today about that. And then the other one is something we haven't talked about before, and that's carine, 3-carine. Now, those two are the top chemical constituents in Cypress. The first one, the alpha-pinene, obviously I use it a lot for skincare because the alpha-pinenes are very good for skincare, specifically when we start looking at skin discolorations, when we need circulatory support, in other words, stimulating good blood flow, and also I would say a healthy vein situation. So in other words, strengthening and almost like a tonic to your veins. All right, so that's what the alpha-pinenes in there do, as well as a pick-me-up. And then obviously the carine, very highly sought after for circulation and also anti-inflammatory benefit. So I'm really concentrating today because I'm sitting on my yoga ball. My my office chair broke and it's leaning to the one side, and I sort of realized, oh, hang on, my side is like starting to hurt and my neck is starting to feel a little crooked. And then I actually took notice of where my chair was sitting at, and it was completely skewed. So today I'm on my yoga ball. And usually what happens is I start hopping up and down if I don't concentrate. So if I do start bouncing, maybe just pop in the comments, bouncing, so I can remind myself to just sit still, okay? Because it's really nice for me because I like moving, and then the blood flows, and it's really awesome. But I think it could be quite annoying and quite seasick to the person that's actually watching me. So back to the Cypress. So those are the two main chemical constituents, and when you open it, it's literally, you know, it's one of those incredible piney smells like when you're going into a forest. And you all know about forest bathing and how incredible it is for your health. You'll also notice on Monday I posted a very beautiful Science Monday post. And that was a very intriguing research article for me because there's a lot of research, not yet on human trials, but on animal trials where simply smelling Cypress essential oil can do a lot of work for healthy cells in your body. So it has got a lot to do with where you, for example, have cells that are going rogue. Okay, so think X-Men rogue, okay, and where the cell cycle is arrested and it's not going through the cell cycle like it's supposed to, and then there's damage that happens, and then the cells start proliferating uncontrollably, which means there's a lot of errors that also build up. And there's a lot of animal research already showing how effective Cypress is. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of how that happens. Please go and read that article that I posted on Monday on my Facebook as well as my Insta pages. But where Cypress, simply by inhaling it aromatically, has literally decreased the effects for the cell proliferation that happens uncontrollably. So this is an incredibly powerful essential oil to have around. Might not be that strong, might not be that amazing smelling to most people. Definitely an amazing oil for health. All right, so Definitely a good one for the circulatory support, as I said, strengthening the veins, also increasing circulation, but at the same time, it increases circulation, but it also promotes blood clotting when it's required. So there is evidence where, if, for example, if you use Cypress for when you're feeling a lot of discomfort in your belly, when you're a woman and it's that time of the month, applying Cypress to your belly area could be a really supportive when you're feeling discomfort in that little not a good day today. Cypress is definitely a good oil for that. So it's circulatory, good for the veins, incredibly good for the respiratory system. So not only is it going to be helping good healthy cells and cellular response and anti-inflammatory or good inflammatory response in your body when you're inhaling it, it's definitely also going to be really good for the mood. So another body system that it's really good for is the skin, as I said, because of the alpha pinene. I still see no one answering what other oil is very high in alpha pinene. Go for it. You've got to know. It's one of my top oils. It's also the king of all oils. Maybe I've given away too much there now. I don't know. It's the king of all oils. It's also very high in alpha pinene. So too is black spruce, Siberian fir. What is the other one that I'm referring to? I can also see Sandra's just logged in. Welcome, welcome. So still waiting for that comment. What is that oil that I'm looking for that is really high in alpha pinene? There might be a prize up for you if you go and put it in the comments. We have a winner. Yes, Marie Pretorius, you got it. Next time you come visit me, you'll get a prize. There we go. Sorry, Jerry, Marie was first. Oh dear, here we go. All the comments are coming through now. Well done. Oh, now I can see Mariette is also logged in. Hello, Mariette, haven't seen you for a while. So yes, the answer is definitely frankincense. So for Cypress, the alpha pinene is present, I would say, in about 30 to 75%, depending on where the cypress is being sourced, what time of day it's harvested, that kind of thing. But the other oil is frankincense. It's up to 50% alpha pinenes and frankincense. So really good. You all know how good frank is, and that's obviously a very important chemical constituent to support good health. So let's look at all the top uses for Cypress specifically. Now, I use this almost daily because I suffer from dancing leg syndrome while I'm sleeping, and sometimes my husband more than I do actually, and I think he almost sets it off in me for some reason. So legs jumping around at bed at night, I get really irritated or perturbed with that because I really need my sleep. I'm a very grumpy person if I don't sleep a really good quality 7 hours. So I do absolutely everything in my sleep hygiene routine before I go to bed to make sure that I'm going to have a sound sleep. And for me, a sound sleep means I don't even get up once to go to the loo for a wee. Okay, that's me. That is how I like to sleep. I know a lot of other people can get up 3-4 times, have babies, have to look after them. Awesome for you if you can do that. That is not me. I literally want to go to bed and sleep straight through and wake up tomorrow morning. And if I've slept through, I wake up feeling like $1 million. Okay, my immune system is reset, my adrenals have reset, and I can really just go for the next day, full energy, feeling the absolute best that I possibly can to give my best and to serve and to teach people about the oils. Okay, so that's why Cypress helps me. So because it is so incredibly good for good strong veins and circulatory support, I give my calves and my shins and my feet a massage with Cypress in some carrier oil every evening before I go to bed, and it stops my legs from jumping around. Okay, so really, really good one to have around specifically for that. But it helps in other areas before you go to bed as well, or even before you go on a very long trip. So it's really good for bladder support. So because it's a detoxifying oil, and it is almost a diuretic, but it's not a diuretic in the sense where it's going to make you wee a lot. Okay, so if you are someone who needs to get up too many times at night, this is a good one to apply to your bladder area on the front of your body topically. Also children who are prone to bedwetting when you are still trying to potty train them, this is a really good essential oil to try. Definitely diluted, please, with some carrier oil onto the bladder area on the body topically, and you can apply this before bed. So that's also going to improve your sleep quality dramatically. All right, so this is a really good one. Another one that it's really good for is cellulite, or what I call cottage cheese bum. Luckily, I don't suffer too much from that. I've got a really good circulatory system in my main areas of my body. I'd say my fingers and my toes struggle a little bit because I'm really tall and I've got very long appendages. But in general, my body circulation is really, really good. So because of that, and being a dancer most of my life, always not being able to sit still, always moving. I'm still sitting still on my ball, am I not? Hopefully I'm not jumping yet. But because of that, I don't necessarily have that much of a cottage cheese bum. Hope the ladies know what I'm talking about. If you do, this is a really good essential oil, and you can combine it with something like grapefruit, which is also really good for a cottage cheese bum. Apply it with carrier oil over your thigh area and over your bum area where you need the circulation to improve. Because what is that cottage cheese from in general? Not eating cottage cheese, I can tell you that. Hello Skylar, welcome. It's probably more due to fluid retention, a large increase in fat deposits in certain cells. It's collagen breakdown, so definitely something that's going to happen with age, for example. But I think the biggest part there is because of blood circulation. So if you don't have good circulation in that area, you are probably going to be a little bit more prone to that cottage cheese bum that I'm speaking about. So Cypress is going to be your friend specifically in that area. Because of the circulatory part, again, this is a really good oil to have around if you suffer from a little bit of darkness around the eye or a little bit of puffiness. So a very good essential oil. I always add Cypress to my under eye puffy blend because my cats sleep on the bed with me. I'm a little bit allergic, so sometimes I wake up with a little bit of a puffy eye. And all I do is, there's a beautiful recipe for a puffy eye blend. If you want the entire puffy eye blend, go and write puffy eye in the comments and I will make sure to get that recipe to you as soon as possible. But if you don't want to do the whole recipe, all you can do is take 3 drops of a carrier oil. I like using jojoba on my face. So just putting 3 drops of carrier oil in the palm of your hand, adding 3 drops of Cypress, and then blending it together. The dilution is key here, please, because Cypress is a warming circulatory oil, so it might sting your skin if you're not going to be diluted it. And there's also some safety instructions. There's apparently quite a lot of aromatherapists, obviously because they're working with unpure oils most of their lives. Their threshold or sensitivity is not that great anymore. So definitely the Cypress, that's one of the ones that they react to more. Lavender is actually one of them as well, because they tend to always work with lavender almost every single day of their lives. I can see a lot of puffy eyes coming through, which is really cool. You'll be getting those recipes very soon after the live. But basically the Cypress is one of those, so definitely dilute. But 1-to-1 is enough, especially if you're using a tested grade oil like my favorite companies. So 3 drops carrier oil, 3 drops Cypress, swish it with your finger, and then just dab, not in the eye. Remember, no essential oils in the eye, it's going to sting. And then don't add water, because then you're going to make it worse. It's going to feel like tear gas, okay? Then always use carrier oil and dab the additional carrier oil around your eye until the stinging subsides. But definitely only a couple of dabs. So I've now mixed it in my hand, and then you're just going to go dab, 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 and it goes a very long way in decreasing the puffiness, but also the dark areas because of the circulation. It's usually pooling blood, or for example, when your eyes are very deep set and the veins are very close to the top of your skin, those kinds of situations, usually you have darker sort of discoloration below your eyes. Obviously it's not going to necessarily help for that, but it will help to improve the strength of the veins below your eyes. So definitely over time, I think it's going to have a supportive benefit for that kind of discoloration under your eye. So there's a very good one. Oh, Tracy Lee, oh my goodness. There your comment comes through. Can it help with dark circles under the eye? Yes, I just answered that without even knowing that you put that in the comments, because the comments obviously come up later than when I'm actually talking about it on the live. So yes, it can work, definitely. So just try it. I would probably, if on its own, I think with lavender is also really good for the under the eye area as well. So then you can sort of start making yourself an eye serum that you can apply in the morning and the evening, which is really cool. Hello Catherine, I can see you've just logged in as well. So far we've talked mostly about circulatory and the detoxing benefits. So applying it to your legs, applying it to your thigh and your bum area when you've got that cottage cheese look. I would be doing this quite regularly because obviously I can also see there's a Kirsty that's just logged in on Insta. Welcome, welcome. Essential oils are metabolized by the body really quickly. Our bodies know exactly what to do with them. So because they're metabolized really quickly, you can apply essential oils a lot more often, but just always dilute it with carrier oil. So please don't apply Cypress today once this week and think all problems will be solved. That is not how it works. Not even pharmaceuticals can do that, besides all the side effects that you're going to get. All right, so you're going to have to be applying the Cypress oil quite routinely. I'd probably say at least twice a day to start seeing a benefit. So it's going to become part of your daily wellness routine to be using Cypress. I apply it obviously every night before I go to bed for my jittery dancey legs, which really helps. So that way I'm also getting the benefit for the good circulation in my toe and my leg areas when I go to bed. So very beneficial, specifically in winter. I know there's a lot of people who also get like very cold fingers in winter, where circulation becomes really poor, and then as soon as the circulation increases again, then there's almost like a surge of blood. And it hurts. It makes like little bubbles. I actually experienced that for the first time last winter in Pretoria. So my circulation is obviously a little poorer now as I'm getting older. Our veins do degenerate. So definitely an essential oil that I'm also going to be starting to apply preventatively. In other words, early, before I feel I'm really cold. I'm going to be applying those to my fingers in winter specifically. All right, so very good for the kidneys and the bladder area because of the diuretic effect that it has. So really good to be applying it onto your bladder area, but also because the bladder is deeper in, not everyone knows in their body where those things sit. Go and get yourselves a reflexology chart, and you can Google that. It's really easily to come by. But then you can go and apply the Cypress specifically to the reflex points of the urinary tract and the kidneys and the bladder. So it's almost like on the metatarsal, so you get the metatarsal, and then it's like the hollow of your foot. So it's just on the insides there, and then there's like a little tube like your urinary tract that goes up, and then your kidney is almost sitting in the middle of your foot. So just go, for reference, go and find yourself a Google chart of where your reflex points sit, and then you can apply specifically the Cypress to those areas as well. So I've talked a lot about the circulation now. I've talked about under the eye, so it's a really good beauty treatment as well. And we've talked a little bit about the bedwetting, specifically for children, where Cypress is really good. The other thing is respiratory, so it's really good in opening up the airway. So definitely a good one to have in the diffuser. And I think combining that with the information about the animal studies and just how powerful aromatic the Cypress can be in good cell health, definitely an essential oil that you should start combining with other oils in your diffuser for cellular health, but also for mood. So I actually really needed Cypress this morning. I woke up, I'd say, with the wrong foot out of the bed. I don't know what it is. You know, it's women's hormones. Sometimes you just wake up and everything is wrong. I don't know why. It's not a good thing, hey? But at least I know it's my hormones. So then I know which oils to grab and which ones are going to be able to support me so that I can get smiling again, because who wants to be grumpy all the day and just blame your hormones? No, we're not up for that. We have the ability, we have the tools, we have the oils, so let's look after ourselves and make our own days better for ourselves. That's the motto. So Cypress really helped me this morning, and I actually combined it with two other oils that I really love, frankincense obviously, and lime. So that is a really good diffuser mix, by the way, to uplift the mood, and it literally helps you from feeling stuck to progressing, so moving forward. So that's what emotionally, what the alpha pinene in that essential oil is doing for you. So definitely a good blend to try. I'd say 2 drops of lime. That's what I have in the diffuser at the back, by the way. 2 drops of Cypress, 2 drops of lime, and 2 drops of frankincense. It smells really amazing, and it really has given me a reason to smile today instead of like staying in that I didn't feel like getting up this morning mood. Okay, so really good one to go for there. I'm just going to end off basically with the top tip of the day. Let's call it a top tip. Because of the type of chemical constituents that is in the Cypress oil, being the alpha pinenes, of course, and the carine, they oxidize a little bit quicker than the essential oils we're used to. So top tip, always keep your bottle tightly closed, not halfway open, and close it as quickly as possible after you've opened it. Because they oxidize quite quickly, that's also part of the reason why it is a sensitive oil and why people using essential oils neat on their skin without dilution every day, why they build up a sensitivity and they sort of get a skin irritation from it, because the oxidized oils is actually not that great for the skin. So if you do leave your bottle open standing in the sun, the chemical constituents are going to oxidize, and then it's not going to be a beneficial oil for you. So top tip for Cypress, keep that bottle closed. And keep it out of direct sunlight and heat. Okay, so do not drive around with it in the Karoo in 40 or 45 degrees without an air conditioner lying on your dashboard in the sun. Not a good idea. Okay, so that's a little bit of a lesson today about Cypress. I hope you guys learned a little bit extra. Really good for under the eyes, really good for the feet, the bladder area, and really good for the mood. Say thank you, Cypress, because otherwise Tanya would not have been so chirpy today. So hope to see you all next week again on my next live on my Botanicamy page, An Alchemy of Soothing Botanic Ingredients, where I can literally just carry on with my passion, which is educating about how powerful these essential oils are, and how they can support your body. Our bodies are really good with these natural essential oils, especially if they are tested grade. They know what to do with them. They go to work in the body where they need to go to work, and there are no addictions and there are no side effects, unless of course you're allergic to the plant. then obviously you're going to have an allergic reaction. Yes? All right, but it was all good chatting about Cypress today. One of my absolute favorites because I use it so very routinely. So yes, I'll be going to send all of you that put puffy eye in the comments. I'll be sending you that puffy eye mix that is my favorite, that works really well for me. I'll be putting that into a messenger or WhatsApp directly to you as soon as we are done with this live today. So I'll see you guys again all next week. Go and invite your friends, and definitely share this video with someone if you think that they can benefit from the information. Cheerio. Bye-bye.